Hello, everyone, and welcome to the jail stories from Aiden Fucci's jail file. And there are several reasons I'm covering this case. One is that jury selection starts tomorrow. That's February 6th, 2023. And I have a personal tie to this case because I live in the next town over from where this murder occurred. And I do also have personal ties through friends of friends who know of the schools and the places that these teens were living and being raised. And also on the day of the murder, I was actually going to play some golf in a little public golf course that was actually, I drove through Durbin Crossing that very day and actually saw more people than usual walking down the sidewalks kind of looking for Tristan. And so this case has that tie, being that it's actually in my county, the next town over, and also the fact that I found this rock when I was going for a walk this year. And I didn't think about covering this case because there was a lot of media attention already, and I thought that it was pretty much an open and shut case, especially with pretty much confessing to the crime on his Snapchat, and the mother still living in the town. She was kind of involved, and I just thought it was kind of a conflict of interest. I didn't want to get involved in local cases. But after seeing this rock and being reminded of the people that care about Tristan, and it says Tristan Bailey Strong, and found that on that group on Facebook, and I urge you guys to join their fight, and they'll be supporting Tristan's memory. I definitely think it's definitely time to remember Tristan. That's why I'm kind of sharing this jail story about Aiden getting into some jail fights, and this has been going on for quite a while since Tristan was murdered on Mother's Day in 2001. There's been some jail fights going on, pretty much threatened to kill officers and inmates, and this is according to News4Jax. Aiden is 14. He's actually in the Duval County jail. Jacksonville is the metropolis of one of the biggest metropolises in North Florida, and being that St. Johns County is a smaller county with a juvenile jail that just is not equipped for someone with Aiden Fucci's, say his charges against him are too bad, and his behavior has been so bad they put him in the Duval County jail, which I totally agree with. According to jail reports obtained Thursday by News4Jax from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Fucci, the teenager charged in the murder of 13-year-old Tristan Bailey, has been involved in multiple disturbances while incarcerated in the Duval County jail. Records reveal, among other things, he's gotten into a fight and threatened to kill inmates, corrections officers, and their families. According to documents on December 25th of 2021, a corrections officer witnessed Fucci hit another inmate, and another inmate punched him back multiple times. Police said the other inmate was stun gun, and that Fucci told JSO he was being extorted for his commissary items and bullied. When asked why he didn't inform the officer, the report says Fucci stated, "I ain't no snitch." The report states no officers were injured after that fight. The report states Fucci was placed in solitary confinement. A report that was filed January 25th, 2022, makes note of threats that Fucci reportedly made while in the jail and mentions the fight that occurred on Christmas Day, 2021. The report reads, Fucci has been relentless in his threats against two inmates. One of those inmates told police that the report reads, Fucci has been saying he's going to stab me when he gets back to GP, general population. He be telling everyone in the dorm that when he gets out, he's going to find my people and stab them and take pictures. He goes around saying we're all blanks because most of us are in here for shooting someone and killing them. He says he is real because he stabs a blank face to face and take their life. It's like he's getting high off it or something. Further investigating According to the report, Fucci's made several threats against other inmates and staff members, including when an inmate told police Fucci threatened someone, saying when he gets out of the box, he's going to stab him up. The report makes note of an incident on January 20th, 2022, when Fucci was found to be extorting commissary items from an inmate by using fear. When officers attempted to obtain the commissary items that Fucci extorted, the report reads, he became highly agitated and made threats against the officers' lives that were getting the commissary items back to the other inmates. The report adds that the officers said, inmate Fucci made threats to kill our families while beating on his cell door in a vicious manner. 2 other incidents mentioned in reports on October 28th, 2021, corrections officer noted Fucci's eyes were baggy and discolored. The report states he first told them he'd been beaten by St. Johns County deputies shortly after he was returned to jail because he wouldn't get out of the car. He reported later that no one had hit him and he was just not sleeping well. On October 5th, 2022, report states corrections officer found an excess of books, magazines in Fucci's cell during a shakedown. Fucci reportedly refused to let the officers remove the items, as he was pepper sprayed later and put in a restraint chair. This is the reality of children being incarcerated. I think it's important to remember that these are children who are put into a box. They're given very little supervision and they're very, very little resources to deal with the fact that they're charged with serious offenses. When asked if it's possible whether the documents could impact the defense, Schott said there would be a serious question from the state's attorney as to whether these witnesses are credible. So Adrian Fucci is charged with first-degree murder, and Tristan Bailey was stabbed over 100 times in 2001 on Mother's Day at Durbin Crossing in St. Johns County. That's a town called Nocatee, and it's a very, very beautiful, picturesque community. Lots of families live there. So he was arrested in the early mornings the next day. But Fucci is being tried as an adult. Although he was 14 at the time of the arrest, if convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison as a juvenile. But when the offense occurred, he is not eligible for the death penalty. He's been in the Duval County jail because St. John's jail does not have a juvenile wing. So this trial is expected to go, they're doing jury selection, I believe, tomorrow and the next week. And this made front page news. That's a big deal, especially because of jury selection happening this week. Everyone's pretty much heard about his bad behavior, which is good. I don't think there's any way Adrian Fucci is getting out of this. Another thing that I wanted to note, Adrian has gotten pretty famous for his mother hiding evidence as well. Another thing, according to News4Jax, another interesting thing that happened, Adrian Fucci also said that demons were going to take away his soul in September of 2021. And he's just been really making some really crazy accusations. Incident happened October. He appeared on a video feed from Duval County Jail wearing an orange jumpsuit and a confused expression. And he was led and handcuffed into the phone with a phone so he could hear the proceedings, and he appeared frightened and looked around the room. The confused, dazed expression. The guard came into the room, took off the phone receiver off the wall and handed it to Fucci. He flipped his hair around, looking disoriented, and then he started rocking back and forth in his seat, looking around in the room in confusion, muttering. At one point, he can be heard talking about demons, saying, "Please don't let the demons take my soul. The demons are going to take my soul away." And then he asked, "What's going on? Why am I here? I want to talk to my mom and dad." Anyway, you guys, I'm going to update this trial as it goes, and I hope that sheds some light that this is not a very good kid. He's very young and very troubled, and I hope to share this video about Tristan's memory and share more about her life in the next few videos in the trial and honor her memory, and hope that you guys are following this trial too. Hopefully, and obviously, justice will probably be served and he'll get life in prison, but not the death penalty because he's a juvenile. But anyway, more jail stories to come, more videos to come from the Markel case, and more jail stories, more Charlie's phone calls. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening and watching and liking and subscribing. Have a good one.